Family law 2, Muslim law. Very important multiple choice questions already been asked several times in university examinations question paper. This educational module is created by Amol. If you like the course module, do not forget to share with your friends. You can also subscribe for the latest upcoming video series on law. Muslim jurisprudence is known as E. Fiqh, B. Qiyas, C. Quran, D. Hadith. The correct answer is A. Fiqh. Fiqh literally means intelligence, and in Muslim law, it means science of jurisprudence. Who applied qiyas for the first time as source of Muslim law? E. Imam Abu Hanifa, B. Imam Yusuf, C. Imam Jafar, D. Imam Ahmad. The correct answer is A. Imam Abu Hanifa. Unanimous decision of the Muslim jurists are known as E. Ijma, B. Quran, C. Qiyas, D. None of the above. The correct answer is E. Ijma. Which of the following Muslim law applies in India? E. Muslim personal law, B. Muslim law of sales of goods, C. Muslim Women, Protection of Rights on Divorce, Act, 1966, D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Muslim Women, Protection of Rights on Divorce, Act, 1966. In Muslim law, khiyar al-bulf means E. Maintenance, B. Divorce, C. Puberty, D. Option of puberty. The correct answer is D. Option of puberty. On the basis of validity, a marriage may be valid marriage, namely E. Sahih, B. Batil, C. Fasid, D. None of the above. The correct answer is E. Sahih means valid marriage. For understanding, Fasid means irregular marriage and Batil means void marriage. Dissolution of Muslim marriage by agreement is known as E. Li'an, B. Zihar, C. Ila, D. Khula. The correct answer is D. Khula. Under an agreement, the wife may divorce her husband either by khula or mubarat. Muta marriage is a concept in E. Hindu law, B. Mohammedan law, C. Contract Act, D. Special Marriage Act. The correct answer is B. Mohammedan law. It is a survival of pre-Islamic custom, whereby the Arab women used to entertain men in their own tents. Muta marriage is a temporary marriage. Muta marriage is recognized in Shia only. Sunni law doesn't recognize it. Which of the following is not a form of dissolution of marriage? E. Ila, B. Zihar, C. Fasq, D. Muta. The correct answer is D. Muta. The term musha under Muslim law means E. Joint property, B. Division in property, C. Separate property, D. Undivided share in property. The correct answer is D. Undivided share in property. Under Muslim law, the only natural guardian is E. Father, B. Mother, C. Grandfather, D. Grandmother. The correct answer is E. Father. Mother having the custody for minor child is known as E. Hizanat. B. Khula. C. Hazina. D. Ahula. The correct answer is E. Hizanat. Under Muslim law on divorce, when the marriage has been consummated, E. Full dower is payable. B. Double the dower is payable. C. Half of the dower is payable. D. No dower is payable. The correct answer is E. Full dower is payable. The manager of Waqf property is known as E. Mullah. B. Mutawalli. C. Father. D. Waqif. The correct answer is B. Mutawalli. Undivided share in property is also known as E. Separate property. B. Joint property. C. Musha. D. Shafa. The correct answer is C. Musha. Under Muslim law, custody of illegitimate children belongs to E. The mother. B. The father. C. Mother's mother. D. Father's father. The correct answer is E. The mother. Under Muslim law, parentage by birth is established E. By birth during regular marriage. B. By birth during irregular marriage. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Both A and B. Maternity of a child is established in the woman gives birth to the child. It is immaterial whether the child is an offspring of a valid or irregular marriage, or even of a fornication or adultery. Which of the following is absolute incapacity for marriage? E. Consanguinity. B. Affinity. C. Fosterage. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Consanguinity means blood relationships, affinity means due to nearness of relationship, and fosterage means the milk relationship, which are absolute prohibited degrees of relationship for marriage. A Muslim can marry any number of wives not exceeding 4. If a Muslim marries a fifth wife, such a marriage shall be E. Valid. B. Irregular. C. Void. D. Either or B. The correct answer is B. Irregular. But the fifth marriage can be made valid after the death or divorce of any one of the 4 wives of his earlier marriage. Under the Shia law, marriage with the fifth wife is void. A Muslim widow is entitled to maintenance E. For 1 year. B. During the period of Adat. C. For 2 years. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. None of these. If marriage dissolved by death, she is not entitled for maintenance even during Adat. In the Muslim law, dower can be E. Specified. B. Unspecified. C. Either specified or unspecified. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Dower can be either specified, marul musamma, or unspecified, marul misal. Which of the following modifies the application of Muslim law? E. Shariat Act, 1937. B. Muslim Marriage Dissolution Act, 1939. C. Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act, 1986. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. The option of the puberty can be exercised by the female before attaining the age of A. 15 years. B. 18 years. C. 21 years. D. Either of the above. The correct answer is E. 15 years. Under the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act, 1939, a Muslim female can file a suit for dissolution of her marriage on the ground that she was given in marriage before she attained age of 15 years by the father, grandfather or any other guardian. Legitimacy of a child may be presumed from which of the following? E. Presumptive marriage. B. School certificate. C. Custom. D. None of these. The correct answer is E. Presumptive marriage. Sometimes there may be no direct proof of the marriage. In such case, under Mohammedan law, proof of an acknowledgement of paternity is taken as presumptive proof of marriage. There are Sunni schools of law. E. 3. B. 5. C. 7. D. None of these. The correct answer is D. None of these. In Sunni sect, there are 4 Sunni school of Muslim law: Hanafi school, Maliki school, Safi school and Hanbal school. Murzul Maut means E. A disease which causes death. B. A serious disease. C. A long-standing disease. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. A disease which causes death. Murzul Maut means deathbed bed gift or the right of gift of a person on deathbed. Which of the following statement is true about Kharchai Pandan? A. Husband has control over that money. B. Property belongs to both husband and wife. C. Absolute property of the wife. D. She has control over the money, but cannot use according to her will. The correct answer is C. Absolute property of the wife. Kharchai Pandan was the allowance which was given for the maintenance of wives. Gift of undivided property is called as E. Ariyat. B. Musha. C. Hibar ba Shato Levaz. D. Hibar be Levaz. The correct answer is B. Musha. Under Muslim law, marriage is E. An institution legalizing male and female conjugal relations. B. A civil contract. C. Sunnat. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. A marriage with a woman before completion of her adat is E. Irregular. B. Voidable. C. Void. D. None of these. The correct answer is A. Irregular. An irregular marriage has no legal effect before consummation, but when consummated give rise to several rights and obligations. Under Muslim law, son is always a E. Sharer. B. Residuary. C. Distant kindred. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Sharer. In Muslim law, gifts are called as E. Hiba. B. Ivaz. C. Haziniya. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Hiba. Gift is considered equivalent to hiba, but technically, gift has a much wider scope than hiba. The word hiba literally means the donation of a thing from which donee may derive a benefit. It must be immediate and complete. A will made by a Muslim under dash is invalid. E. Coercion and fraud. B. Fraud and undue influence. C. Undue influence. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. A will made by a person under coercion, undue influence and fraud is invalid. Which school of Muslim law considers waqf as the first mutawalli? A. Sunni. B. Malikis. C. Ithna Ashari. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Sunni. If a waqf is created without the appointment of a mutawalli, then, according to Abu Yusuf, the dedication is valid and waqif becomes the first mutawalli. Which amongst the following is not a source of Muslim law? A. Quran. B. Ijma. C. Shia. D. Sunnah. The correct answer is C. Shia. Shia is the faction of Muslims. Under Muslim law, which relationships are not suitable for marriage and make the marriage void? A. Mother and son. B. Brother and sister. C. Uncle and niece. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Which dower is payable on the dissolution of the marriage? A. Prompt dower. B. Deferred dower. C. Both of the above. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Deferred dower. Talaq by tafweez means A. Talaq pronounced by wife when she is dissatisfied by her husband. B. Divorce given by wife when the husband falsely accuses his wife of adultery. C. Divorce in pursuance of a power of talaq delegated by the husband to the wife under an agreement between them. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Divorce in pursuance of a power of talaq delegated by the husband to the wife under an agreement between them. Under Muslim law, a female child shall remain in the custody of her mother till the age of A. Puberty. B. Majority. C. 14 years. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Puberty. Fourth, the property of a minor dash is the legal guardian? A. Mother. B. Father. C. Both. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Father. Under the Muslim law, wife forfeits the right to be maintained by her husband? A. If she defaults in her wifely duties. B. If she withdraw herself from husband's protection for lawful cause. C. If she lives separately owing to cruelty on husband's part. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. If she defaults in her wifely duties. The mother's right of care and custody of child in Muslim law is known as A. Hazina. B. Hizna. C. Dawa. D. Kadela. The correct answer is B. Hizna. Under Muslim law, following persons are entitled to maintenance? A. Wife. B. Children. C. Parents and grandparents. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Under Muslim law, after dissolution of marriage, the wife is required to wait for certain period, during which she cannot remarry. This period is known as A. Tha. B. Khulla. C. Adat. D. Ahul. The correct answer is C. Adat. Under Sunni law, a marriage performed during Adat period is A. Valid. B. Void. C. Voidable. D. Irregular. The correct answer is D. Irregular. Formal sources of Muslim laws are E. 2, B. 4, C. 6, D. 7. The correct answer is A. 2. The ancient source and the customary source. The Shariat Act, 1937 came into operation on E. the 7th of January 1937. B. the 7th of April 1937. C. 7th July 1937. D. 7th October 1937. The correct answer is D. the 7th of October 1937. Essential requirements of Muslim marriage are E. Ijab. B. Qubul. C. Both A and B. D. Either or B. The correct answer is C. Both A and B. A Muslim marriage requires proposal, ijab, from one party and acceptance, qubul, from the other side. This must be done in one sitting. In Muslim law, majoring is attained at E. the age of 12. B. the age of 9. C. the age of 18. D. the puberty. The correct answer is D. the puberty. Option of puberty means E. Carol Bulf. B. Facilitation of marriage. C. Puberty in marriage. D. Muta marriage. The correct answer is A. Carol Bullock. A marriage with faster relation is E. Prohibited absolutely. B. Permitted absolutely. C. Prohibited generally except certain faster relation. D. Either A or B. The correct answer is A. Prohibited absolutely. A muta marriage is dissolved E. ipso facto by efflux of the period. B. By death. C. by hibar a muddat. D. Either A or B or C. The correct answer is D. Period of adat prescribes in case of dissolution of muta marriage. E. 4 courses and 10 days. B. 4 courses. C. 3 courses. D. 2 courses. The correct answer is C. 3 courses. Pronouncement of talaq can be E. Revocable. B. Irrevocable. C. Either irrevocable or revocable. D. Only irrevocable and not revocable. The correct answer is C. Either irrevocable or revocable. Talaq ahsan is E. Revocable during the period of adat. B. Not revocable. C. Revocable until the next successive ter. D. Irrevocable. The correct answer is A. Revocable during the period of adat. Divorce by zihar is a species of E. Actual divorce. B. Inchoate divorce. C. Constructive divorce. D. Khula. The correct answer is C. Constructive divorce. An acknowledgement with regard to child can be E. For son. B. For daughter. C. For son only and not for daughter. D. For both son or daughter. The correct answer is D. For both son or daughter. Guardian can be E. Of person. B. of property. C. Of both A and B. D. Of only A, not B. The correct answer is C. Of both A and B. Guardian can be of both person and property. A will prepared by Muslim in writing. E. Needs attestation by 2 witnesses. B. No attestation. C. Needs attestation by 2 female witnesses. D. Needs attestation by an adult male. The correct answer is A. Need attestation by 2 witnesses. Marzul Maut means E. A disease which causes death. B. A serious disease. C. A long-standing disease. D. Either A or B or C. The correct answer is A. A disease which causes death. A Hanafi Muslim man can marry. E. A Muslim woman. B. A Kitabiya. C. Both A and B. D. Neither of them. The correct answer is C. Both a Muslim woman and a Kitabiya. A marriage forbidden by the reason of fosterage is E. Irregular. B. Void. C. Valid. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. Void. During the term of muta marriage, E. Husband has a right to divorce. B. Wife gets a right to divorce. C. Husband and wife both get right to divorce. D. Neither husband nor wife get a right to divorce. The correct answer is D. Neither husband nor wife get a right to divorce. Islamic law is formally contained in E. Quran. B. Hadith. C. Ijma's Qiyas. D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. The Quran. The legal guardian of a Muslim minor female is E. Father. B. Grandfather. C. Mother. D. Maternal uncle. The correct answer is A. Father. Dower in Muslim law is 1. Dowry. 2. An obligation imposed upon the husband as a mark of respect for wife. 3. Consideration for marriage. 4. A legal right of the wife. E. 1, 3 and 4. B. 2 and 4. C. 2, 3 and 4. D. 2 and 3. The correct answer is B. 2 and 4. Talaqul bidat is E. Complete and irrevocable. B. Incomplete divorce. C. Revocable divorce. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Complete and irrevocable divorce. Which one is not a source of Muslim law? E. The Quran. B. Shariat. C. Hadith. D. Ijma. The correct answer is B. Shariat. Hibar ba shato liwaz is a kind of E. Sale. B. Gift. C. Mortgage. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. Gift. Hibar ba shato livas means a gift made with a stipulation for return. Adat in the case of death of husband is E. 3 months 10 days. B. 4 months 20 days. C. 4 months 10 days. D. 4 months 11 days. The correct answer is C. 4 months 10 days. Acknowledgement of legitimacy once made is E. Revocable. B. Irrevocable. C. Compoundable. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. Irrevocable. The dash property of a Muslim is heritable. E. Ancestral. B. Self-acquired. C. Both A and B. D. Only A. The correct answer is C. Both A and B. Under Muslim law, every kind of property may be a heritable property. Divorce pronounced in death illness is E. Valid. B. Invalid. C. Valid if the wife accepts it. D. Void. The correct answer is A. Valid. An ailing Muslim, generally men, has been given the power to pronounce talaq, just to prevent his right of inheritance moving to his wife after his death, and if he dies before the expiry of the iddat period, a wife is entitled to claim her share. Waqf for a limited period is E. Valid. B. Not valid. C. Voidable. D. Irregular. The correct answer is B. Not valid. All schools, excepting the Maliki, concur that a waqf is valid only when the waqif intends the waqf to be perpetual and continuous, and therefore it is considered a lasting charity. Hizanat means E. Control. B. Protection. C. Guardianship of person of a minor. D. Marriage. The correct answer is C. Guardianship of person of a minor. There are dash Shia school of Muslim law. E. 3. B. 5. C. 4. D. None of these. The correct answer is A. 3. There are 3 Shia school, namely Itna Asharis, the 12, the Ismailis and Zaidi. A gift to unborn person is E. Valid. B. Void. C. Voidable. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. Void. A marriage with a woman before completion of her iddat period is E. Irregular. B. Void. C. Voidable. D. None of these. The correct answer is A. Irregular. An irregular marriage has no legal effect before consummation, but when consummated give rise to several rights and obligations. Shariat Application Act deals with E. Customary law. B. Legislative law. C. Personal law. D. None of these. The correct answer is C. Personal law. The Muslim Personal Law, Shariat, Application Act, 1937, which deals with marriage, succession and inheritance among Muslims. The manager of Waqf property is known as E. Mullah. B. Mutawalli. C. Father. D. Mother. The correct answer is B. Mutawalli. Through a gift a Muslim can transfer his, her, E. 1/3 property. B. 1/2 of the property. C. Two-thirds property. D. None of these. The correct answer is B. One-third property. Triple pronouncement of talaq is known as E. Talaq ehsan. B. Talaq ul bidat. C. Talaq hasan. D. Lian. The correct answer is B. Talaq ul bidat. Undivided share in property is also known as E. Separate property. B. Joint property. C. Musha. D. Shafa. The correct answer is C. Musha. Dash was the founder of Maliki school. E. Imam Shafi. B. Malik ibn Anas. C. Abu Hanifa. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Malik ibn Anas. A gift made during death illness is known as E. Hibar bil illness. B. Marzul maut. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Marzul maut. Term means E. Period of menstruation. B. Period of adat. C. Period between menstruation. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Period between menstruation. Muta marriage means E. A permanent marriage. B. A temporary marriage. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. A temporary marriage. The right of preemption arises only in respect to E. Movable property. B. A movable property. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. A movable property. In Muslim law, gifts, hiba, are of dash kinds? E. 3. B. 5. C. 2. D. 4. The correct answer is D. 4. Mainly hiba bil iwaz, hiba bar shartula iwaz, ariyat and sadqa. A person who does menial work in a mosque, such as cleaning, sweeping etc. is known as E. Mujawar. B. Waqif. C. Maulvis. D. Imam. The correct answer is A. Mujawar. Which is the secondary source of Muslim law? E. Custom. B. Ijma. C. Qiyas. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Custom. Which of the following has modified the application of Muslim law? E. Shariat Act, 1937. B. Muslim Marriage Dissolution Act, 1939. C. Muslim Woman Protection of Right on Divorce Act, 1986. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Under Muslim law, marriage is E. A civil contract. B. Sunnat. C. An institution legalizing male and female conjugal relation. D. All the above. The correct answer is D. All the above. Husband and wife divorcing by mutual consent is known as E. Talaq bidat. B. Talaq ehsan. C. Mubarat. D. Talaq hasan. The correct answer is C. Mubarat. There are two types of mutual divorce, khula and mubarat. A Muslim can marry any number of wives not exceeding 4. If a Muslim marries a fifth wife, such a marriage shall be E. Valid. B. Irregular. C. Void. D. Either A or B. The correct answer is B. Irregular. But the fifth marriage can be made valid after the death or divorce of any one of the 4 wives of his earlier marriage. Under the Shia law, marriage with the fifth wife is void. The dash is the manager of Waqf property. E. Mutawalli. B. Husband. C. Father. D. Mother. The correct answer is A. Mutawalli. How many witnesses are necessary in Shia Muslim marriage? E. 2 males. B. 1 male and 2 females. C. No witness is required. D. Both A and B. The correct answer is C. No witness is required. The term musha under Muslim law means E. Divided property. B. Joint property. C. Undivided share in property. D. Separate property. The correct answer is C. Undivided share in property. Which of the following options gives correct meaning of right of preemption? E. A right to presume adversely. B. A right to purchase property in preference to other person. C. A right to seek eviction of tenant and get vacant possession. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. A right to purchase property in preference to other person. Dash was the founder of Hanafi school. E. Malik ibn Anas. B. Imam Shafi. C. Abu Hanifa. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Abu Hanifa. In India, the Sunnis belongs to the E. Either Hanafi or Shafi. B. Ithana Ashariya school. C. Either Maliki or Hanbali. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Either Hanafi or Shafi. The property dedicated to God, for religious or charitable purpose is known as E. Khula. B. Waqf. C. Sadqa. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Sadqa. Kharchai Pantan is the A. Property belongs to both husband and wife. B. Absolute property of the wife. C. Expenses given to wife over which husband has control. D. Expenses of wife over which she has control but cannot use according to her will. The correct answer is B. Absolute property of the wife. Which one of the dower is payable on the dissolution of marriage? E. Deferred dower. B. Prompt dower. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Deferred dower. Muta marriage under the Muslim law means E. A temporary marriage. B. A permanent marriage. C. A joint venture marriage. D. An illegal marriage. The correct answer is A. A temporary marriage. Essential requirement of Muslim marriage are A. Consent. B. Hijab. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Consent. Which of the following are not a valid gift? A. Conditional gift. B. Gift in future. C. Contingent. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. A talaq can be effected A. Orally by spoken words. B. In writing. C. Either A or B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Either A or B. The option of puberty can be exercised by the female before attaining the age of A. 15 years. B. 18 years. C. 21 years. D. Either of the above. The correct answer is A. 15 years. On divorce when the marriage has been consummated? A. Full dower is payable. B. Double the dower is payable. C. Half of the dower is payable. D. No dower is payable. The correct answer is A. Full dower is payable. A Muslim husband can divorce his wife? A. In the presence of his wife only. B. In the absence of his wife only. C. Either of A or B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Either of A or B. In Muslim law, dower can be A. Specified. B. Unspecified. C. Either specified or unspecified. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Either specified or unspecified. Marriage between Muslim woman with a non-Muslim shall be held under Muslim law? A. Valid. B. Irregular. C. Either A or B. D. Void. The correct answer is D. Void. Marzul Maut means A. A disease which causes death. B. A serious disease. C. A long-standing disease. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. A disease which causes death. Guardian can be appointed for A. Property. B. Person. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Both property and person. Parentage by birth is established? A. By birth during regular marriage. B. By birth during irregular marriage. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Both A and B. Under Muslim law, the will of a Muslim can be A. Writing. B. Oral. C. Either A or B. D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Either A or B. De facto guardian means A. A legal guardian. B. A guardian appointed by the court. C. A person who manage property of the minor. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. A guardian appointed by the court. Custody of illegitimate children belongs to E. The mother. B. The father. C. Mother's mother. D. Father's father. The correct answer is A. The mother.